Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about macros. What are macros? So macros consist of 3 macronutrients. So you have proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Protein, 1 gram of protein is equal to 4 calories. Same thing with carbohydrates. 1 gram of carbohydrates is also equal to 4 calories. And fats, being the most caloric dense, is 1 gram per 9 calories. And then also, if you do drink alcohol, you can track alcohol as well. Alcohol is 1 gram per 7 calories. But this is empty calories, meaning it's not going towards carbohydrates, fats, or protein. Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to track your calories using an app I like. There are many different other apps, but the app I prefer is going to be myfitnesspal. So I have it up here. And basically, you plug in what you eat in a day. So typically, I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute, but typically eating foods that you can scan is a lot easier. There can be healthy foods and unhealthy foods, but a calorie is a calorie. So basically, for overall health, then your type of food matters. But if you're just trying to lose weight or gain weight, then a calorie is a calorie, and it's going to be 3 levels. So a calorie maintenance is what your maintenance calorie is, where you're not gaining or losing any weight. Now, if you go into a calorie surplus, you're eating more than you're burning off and your maintenance calories, so your body needs a certain amount of foods to basically just stay where you're at. So let's say this amount of food is 2,000 calories, for example. So you're eating 2,000 calories and you're just staying at that weight. You're not changing weight at all. Now let's say you up your calories to 2,100 calories per day. Now you'll start to gain weight slowly and then you'll plateau. So your body will adjust. Your body likes to maintain homeostasis, so it's going to adjust. So you're going to start gaining a little bit of weight at the 2,100 calorie mark. Till a certain point you'll stop, and that will be your new maintenance calorie. Same thing if you're trying to lose weight, you'd go from 2,000 calories, for example, to 1,900 calories, and you'll lose weight to a certain point. Now, I'm not using 2,000 saying this is your calories. This could be just an example. Everybody's caloric intake is different based on your size, based on your weight, based on how athletic you are, and how you train your metabolism. So let's say I am 120 pounds, 5'6". Let's say I have another person who's 120 pounds, also 5'6". I have more muscle than them. My caloric intake is a lot higher because muscle needs more calories to maintain it. So their calories could be at, let's say, 1,800 for their maintenance, and mine could be, let's say, 2,500 for my maintenance. So they're totally different. What may be my surplus or deficit will be different from their surplus or deficit. So it all depends on you. Okay, so before we move on and talk about how to actually plug in your food and track your food, first we're going to talk about how to figure out what your maintenance calorie is. So you're going to plug in the food you eat, which I'm going to demonstrate in a minute. You're going to plug this in and figure out what your maintenance calorie is. Don't aim for a specific number. MyFitnessPal will personally tell you based on your weight, your height, and how active you are, how many calories you should be eating. But this isn't correct because of what I just said, how we could be the same weight and same height. So say it's a normal Monday and you're just eating whatever you want, you're just plugging it in. You're not aiming for a specific number. Once you have this number, chances are this is going to be your maintenance calorie because this is where your body stopped eating naturally and it wants to maintain homeostasis. It wants to stay at this number. So chances are that is your number. So let's say your number was 1,500 calories. That's how much you ate today. Now, a lot of things are going to depend on how much macros you're getting of each. So MyFitnessPal will calculate your protein as lower when your protein for an active person should average between 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you are weighing, let's just go with 120 pounds again, you should be getting around 100 to 120 grams of protein per day. If you are getting less than this, then your muscles are not able to fully recover, and you're actually hurting yourself and making it more detrimental on your body. Now let's talk about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are going to be the main fuel for exercising when doing any type of weightlifting or powerlifting. If you are doing weightlifting or powerlifting, these carbs are going to be the immediate energy, so you need these carbs. All right, last thing, fat. Fat is going to be for any endurance training. If you are running a marathon or you're just doing cardio, whether it's stairs, biking, walking, whatever it may be, if your time is over 3 minutes and you're continuously doing that exercise, your heart rate's not changing at all, you're going to be utilizing the fat macronutrients. Also, fat macronutrients is a hormone regulator. This is going to be used for your hormones, regulating them. So it's really important not to cut out this macro. But it's also not important to cut out any macro because all macros are important. And then the last thing, alcohol, of why I said it's an empty calorie. Alcohol is not going to be doing anything for you, so the calories will be still calories and can contribute to weight gain or weight loss if you're eating in a surplus or deficit, but they're empty, so they're not, your body's not using them at all, and they're really detrimental to your body. So instead of getting these calories that are actually going to be helping you for either your strength or your endurance or recovering your muscle, you're just getting calories that aren't doing anything for you but can contribute to your weight gain. Alright, so now that we've covered where your protein should be at, your carbs should be what's ever left over, and your fat should be sitting somewhere between 50 and 60. Now, if you are trying to eat in a surplus, you are trying to gain muscle, you want to do this very lean, you want to gain lean muscle, you're going to go in a surplus and you're going to change it every single week. So 1, you never hit a plateau, and 2, so your body doesn't ever adjust, but it doesn't gain extra fat as well. So let's go with the number we were talking about earlier. At 1,500 calories and your protein's too low, you're slowly going to want to raise your protein at first, and your protein's too low, you're eating a lot of carbs and a lot of fat. We're going to slowly, week by week, lower your fat and lower your carbs and add it into protein till your protein's at that sweet spot number. So it is around, let's say, 100 to 120 grams, like we talked about, because that's going to be your body weight of our example. So we're going to keep raising that, and we're going to take it away from carbs and fat. This can help contribute to body recomposition, losing fat and gaining muscle because you're getting the right macronutrients in. Now, let's say you already are getting enough protein in and you're trying to lose weight or gain weight. You're going to slowly lower your calories or gain your calories. If you are trying to gain lean muscle, and you're at 1,500 calories, you're getting enough protein in, we're slowly going to start adding carbohydrates in. So you're going to increase by either 50 to 100 calories per week, depending on how your body's going to adjust. So first week, you've already done that maintenance calorie, you've stayed there. You've stayed within 30 calories of your total calories, and you've stayed within 5 grams of each. Now what we're going to do is we're going to increase by either 50 to 100 calories this next week. So we're increasing that, and what we're adding in is we're going to add in some carbohydrates and just a few fats. Like I said, if you're not doing cardio and you are mainly doing weight training and you're trying to build that lean muscle, you're going to want these carbohydrates so you can increase strength and progressive overload so you are stronger in the gym. Now for losing weight. Let's say we are at that 1,500 mark, but you were the unhappy person that you had extra weight, and let's say you wanted to change your protein. We changed our protein now, we increased our protein, your body slowly started doing recomposition, so you slowly started gaining muscle and losing fat, but now you're at a steady plateau. We're going to start cutting away calories. 1,500 actually isn't a lot to work with because we don't want to go below 1,200 calories. 1,200 calories below that is a no-no. That is so bad for your body. That's barely enough to maintain anything. So we will slowly cut. We can cut till that number, but up until that number, we would need to reverse diet and start gaining those calories again, and that would be the only way. So let's say we were at 2,000 calories, for example, and you're like, okay, I want to cut now. You would slowly start reducing those carbohydrates and a little bit of the fat until you're at that sweet spot and you're like, okay, I'm lean enough. Now I want to bulk up again. Same thing. If you just want to maintain where you're at, just stay at the same calories. It's just as simple as that. You're going to keep those same calories and not change them at all. All right, so now let's move on to how to track your calories. So I'm going to open up myfitnesspal. Alright, now once I've done so, I'm going to go and click add food. I didn't add in my food today just because I didn't want to confuse you guys. I wanted to show you. So I'm going to click add food, and let's take some of the stuff I have behind me. So I just got cashews, for example. If you look at the back of the label, it'll tell you how many calories are in it, how much protein, how much carbs, how much fat. Now, for this, we would measure out how many are in here. So it says a serving size is going to be 1 ounce, approximately 28 grams. So we're going to measure that out. All right, I have my scale here. I can turn it on. I have a unit, so I can change it from grams to ounces to kilograms and then to pounds. So typically I only use ounces and grams because this is something we use a lot in America. Some other countries use kilograms, but we're gonna use grams today just to show you. And then I also have an on button and a tare button. I'm gonna show you how to use the tare button and then how to weigh it out in a second. All right, so I'm going to turn it on. I'll face it towards you guys. Once I turn it on, it's going to tell me the unit. So I already have it in grams. It'll say that right there. And then I'm going to put this cup on it to weigh it. So now it says 7 grams. All right, the cup weighs 7 grams. Easy way to do this is just click the tare option. And now it factored out that the cup weighs this, and we're not going to count that. So now it's 0 grams. Now I'm going to take my food and I'm going to pour it in. And it's at 25, so I want to get to 28. Alright, there we go. Now I'm at 28, and this is 1 serving. Alright, now for plugging this into myfitnesspal, I'm going to go over to the scanner option, and I am going to go right to this barcode, and I'm going to scan that, and then it tells me the macros that are in it, and I'm going to click check, because I had 1 serving of it. Now let's say that I didn't add exactly 28 grams and I wanted a little bit more, so I wanted like a serving size and a half. So I'm going to click on that, and it says 1 ounce 50 pieces. This is the same thing as the grams. So let's say I had half of a serving. I had 1.5 of a serving. I would click number of servings 1, and then I would go to half. Now let's say I measured it out in ounces and it said 1.3 ounces. I can do this as well. I can change it to a decimal and click 1.3 ounces. And there it is. Alright, and now in myfitnesspal, I don't want anybody to look at my calories and think this is the perfect calories for you. My calories change every week, like I told you guys, so please don't judge my calories based on what yours should be. This is mine for this week. So for calories, I'm going to click on calories where it says calories remaining, goal, any of that good stuff, and I'm going to see nutrients. This is where I'm going to find how much protein, carbohydrates, and fats I'm going to be eating. All of the main keys for weight loss or weight gain or maintaining your calories. So this is where I'm going to do that. Also, you have calories, and then you have macros for how many percentage you have. Click on this, and then to change calories, you're just going to click this number, and then you could change it to whatever you want it. And then to change your number of carbs, proteins, fats, unfortunately on the unlocked version you can't change it without just changing percentages. You can't change the exact number, so you're just going to want to up your calories, whatever it may be, and then change your percentages, and then check on it after to make sure that it's going to be, your protein's still going to be good. So let's say I up 100 calories, I'm going to have to decrease my percentage of protein and increase my percentage of fat so that it stays equal. So my protein would stay where I want it to be in that sweet spot, and then my carbs would go up. Alright, now same thing with anything else. I have a protein powder here. I can just click on my thing on myfitnesspal, my little scanner option, and then I can scan this barcode and it'll tell me the macros that are in it, and I can choose if I had 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 1.5 scoops, 1/4 of a scoop, whatever it may be, and I can plug that into myfitnesspal. Let's take pasta for example. Any type of carbohydrates that's going to be like this, it's going to retain water. You're going to boil it in water and it's going to absorb that water, such as like pasta and rices and all of that kind of stuff. This you're going to weigh before. So I would simply take a bowl or a cup like I just did, and I would weigh this. And I could scan this barcode. It says how many calories are in it, and it's how many basically ounces or grams are in each, and I would weigh that before and then cook it. Now let's talk about like any type of meat products. So if you're talking about ground beef, chicken, whatever it may be, you're going to cook this first and then weigh it after the fact. The reason that you're going to weigh the meats after is going to be because they're going to lose fat. So the stuff that comes out, obviously everybody knows that like steak, ground beef, all that kind of stuff has fat in it. That is all going to come out when you're being cooked, or at least most of it. So you're going to weigh the chicken or ground beef after, because everything that came out you're not eating. You're only eating what's on the plate, what's in the chicken or in the ground beef now. And then foods that don't have a type of barcode. So if you have a banana, for example, you can just search a banana and it'll give you small, medium size, or large banana. If you have like blueberries, for example, just search blueberries and then weigh them out. You can also search restaurants as well. If you go out to a restaurant, a lot of restaurants are actually on here, so you can search that. If you do go at a restaurant, I suggest that you get the closest thing. If they don't have their calories labeled, just plug in the closest thing, because still guesstimating is better than nothing. And then as far as drinks go, please plug in your drinks, whether it may be alcohol, Gatorade, any of that good stuff. Any drinks that contain calories, you need to plug these in, because they will contribute to your total calories and will affect your goals. So don't forget those.